at best.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Ted Webb, a coal miner here in Butcher Hall, Kentucky. Things have been hard here. The Depression had slowed work, but we still make do. And there's plenty of love that goes around this family. That there is the sweetest voice here in these hills. That's my daughter Loretta. She's got a prettier voice than any I hear on the radio. We play on Saturday nights when the Grand Ole Opry plays. She just bellows out there on the porch, singing to the younger children. I told her once she could be heard all over the holler. She just laughed and said, "It's right, Daddy. They're all cousins and they don't care." And they didn't care, 'cause they loved to hear my little Lord sing. Who could have predicted that my little coal miner's daughter would win so many awards? She won all country western awards possible. In her most prestigious awards, the first woman to win the gold album for 1 million sales, first woman to win Entertainer of the Year, Music City named her top female vocalist. She was also named to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Entertainer of the Decade. Ladies' Home Journal voted her for the top 100 most important women in the world. She got honorable mentions in the Gallup poll of the top 10 women in the world. Goldmire won, and they were a pretty prestigious group. The Kennedy Center honored her with a lifetime contribution to American culture. And she also won the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor you can get as a civilian. Lordy was my pride and joy. She met Oliver Lynn, better known as Doolittle High School Social. Lordy's mom and I were not pleased when Dee asked to marry, because we knew he was a troublemaker, just back from war, and Lordy was so young, only at 14 and Dee was 21, and we knew they were going to get married one way or another, so I gave my consent. Due to the shortage of jobs in the holler, Dee and Lordy moved to the state of Washington. I never saw my Lordy again. So let Loretta Lynn tell how she became a legend of country music as she opened a new frontier for women in country music.
Howdy, folks. I'm Loretta Lynn. Like my daddy said, Dew and me moved to Washington State. Dew was a ranch hand, and I cooked, cleaned, picked strawberries, took care of over 4 babies. With the equivalent of a first grade education, I couldn't get much other work. But one day, Dew came home with a guitar he bought for $15. I asked him, "What am I supposed to do with that? I can't play that thing." He told me to learn. Said the songs I write and sing are better than any he's heard on the radio. So I bought me a book off the Saves and Road by catalog and learned to play. When Dew thought I was ready, he said, "It's time to go public. But how can I sing to those folks when I'm so shy I can hardly talk to strangers?" Dew told me, "To sing like you're singing to those babies of ours, the people will love you." Writing songs has always been easy for me. I just sang what was in my heart, like this year's song, Honky Tonk Girl. Ever since you left me, I've done nothing but wrong. Many nights I've laid awake and cried. We were so happy, my heart was in a whirl. But now I'm a honky tonk girl. Dew really liked it, so he entered me in the state fair in Bucko and Amateur Night, and I won both. Luckily, a man named Norm Burley heard me singing a song I'd written called Whispering Seas. It made him think of his wife, so he paid for me to go to California and cut a record. We put Whispering Seas on one side and Honky Tonk Girl on the flip. Dew and me stopped cross country at the radio stations getting the disc jockeys to play Honky Tonk Girl. One of the disc jockeys we stopped at said Honky Tonk Girl was already number 6 in the Cash Box charts. I asked him where one of these charts was and he showed me. There it was, my name right there with Johnny Cash. Dew was so excited, he said, "Let's head to Nashville." We stopped and slept in front of the Ryman because we'd run out of money. But luckily, there we met a man named Ernest Tubbs, who was recording his Midnight Jamboree. He didn't know me, but since my song was number 6, he let me sing, and I sang for several more nights. Ernest Tubbs is the nicest man. He helped me get on the Grand Ole Opry only 3 months in Nashville. I sang for 21 consecutive weeks, which was unheard of by any non-member of the Opry. I was named the most promising female artist of 1961, which was voted on by the country western disc jockeys. Dew and me had a rough marriage. Dew drank too much and consorted with other women, but I never let him get by with everything. I'd write a song about it and the whole world would know. But Dew never got mad at me. He knew he'd mess up. He'd just say, "That's a good song, honey." My songs are about what I know best. A hard life growing up in Kentucky, family, motherhood, a troubled marriage. These are women's concerns, and I understand them. Whatever I feel at that moment, that's what I'd write about, and I put my whole heart and soul into writing and singing those songs. In my songs, I told men which way to stand. I was the first female artist to sing about the women's side of life. I was not afraid to go against convention and social taboos in my songs, Rated X and The Pill. I don't believe in double standards. In God's eyes, there is no double standard. That's what I've been trying to say in my songs. At the time, country music was male-dominated. I burst through breaking down barriers, was straightforward, and kicked open doors for other female artists. Not bragging, but I was named Female Artist of the Year 12 years in a row, which I'm very proud of. This is my husband, Dale. If it weren't for him, I would have never tried to sing in public. Even though things weren't always rosy, he's the love of my life, and I know when I'm with him, I am safe.
Success never ended Loretta. She never forgot where she came from and the lessons she learned in Butcher Holler. Her song, "When You're Looking at Me, You're Looking at Country," defines her. Loretta has a special way with people. The first minute people see her, they fall in love with her because they know that she's a real deal, nothing put on, and she sincerely loves people.
Listen, when I die, I want to be put in charge of people that nobody loves.
See, that's what makes Loretta, Loretta.
When I hear folks cheering for my songs, I want to put everything we got into it. Because those folks have saved their hard-earned cash to come see me, and I want to give them my best. I get on that stage and I enjoy myself. Because those women see me as a wife, mother, daughter who has feelings just like them. They just like to come talk to me after the shows, because they know I genuinely care about them.
Loretta helped to change the face of country music through her honest and powerful songs. She was the first girl singer to really break out on her own. Women have kind of been held down in country music, but she pushed through the barriers of female songwriting and permanently opened the doors for women in country music.
I've been told those ever my heart came right out my mouth, and that's the truth. Because my songs are my life, and my life is very dear to me. What I remember most is being poor. Sometimes I think that was the best part of my life. I learned to survive.
By writing her own truths and experiences with a perspective and a voice better than any other storyteller, she became an American hero and a country music standard bearer. She was a trailblazer who transformed into a girl singer into a powerful voice for women. Her song, "A Coal Miner's Daughter," defines her and radically changed the public's perspective of country music. Loretta was an inspiration for female singers coming into the business. She was instrumental in helping many of them get started. Margot Price said, "It's safe to say we wouldn't be making country music today if it weren't for Loretta. Her legacy lives on in those of us who she influenced and gave of herself." Loretta deserves the honor being called the Queen of Country Music, because she opened a new frontier for women in country music, was an ambassador for women all over the world as she related her life stories through her music. Ladies and gentlemen, Loretta Lynn.
Well, I was born a coal miner's daughter in a cabin on a hill in Butcher Holler. We were poor, but we had love. That's the one thing that Daddy made sure of. He shoveled coal to make a poor man's dollar.